Okay, so I got the mic now. All right, well, I guess we're ready to go. Because like I said, it would be pointless to do this thing if nobody can hear what it is I'm talking about. So welcome to Purge BS, Monday morning edition, election week, WEAK edition, okay? And we are going to get into an interesting conversation, whatever you want to call it, regarding the craziness that has been this recent election. And I'm about to call some things out because me personally, I'm getting sick of it. Because people take stuff, they're taking it too far. I almost cussed. It's still early in the day. I tried not to do that. But people are taking things way too far. And so the reason that political violence, in my opinion, and I don't mean violence between politicians, I mean violence between the people who are politically affiliated. The reason why it's at an all-time high is because we have stoked the flames for 3 months in the news cycle, just terrorism, fascism, Hitler, there's guns trained at people's faces, there's a stealing of an election coming, it's on both. It's too much. Everybody's throwing all this stuff out, and some people are, to be honest with you, they're overreacting, okay? People are overreacting. Some people are letting it take them to a place mentally that's dangerous and could get them up. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to go over a few things here as I talk to my population regarding this wildness that I call election week. And that's WEAK, week. So we're going to start with an interesting clip that came to me from somebody on X regarding some new policies that have been enacted at football games now. So apparently you cannot wear certain gear, not profane, but certain gear at football games. Check this out.
Again, it's an NFL policy that he cannot wear his Trump shirt in the first row.
100% false.
100% false.
It's not a Trump shirt. It's nothing political.
Nothing political. From the NFL cannot be worn at a building.
We're in a free country.
We're in a free country. So according to the NFL policy, you cannot wear anything political at all.
Wow is right. So I didn't even know that was a thing where you could basically lose your front row seat at a football game by having on a Trump shirt. That's wild. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if it was, apparently it wouldn't have mattered if it was a Harris Walsh shirt or a Trump shirt. Any political shirt is apparently not allowed in the front row. And I think that's because in the front row, you're more susceptible to being on camera when they're doing the football game. And so if they're zoomed in on something, they might have your shirt in the background, and that might be considered by some to be like propaganda or something. I don't know. It's a very thin, kind of a case. But so you see what I'm saying? It starts there. It's at football games. You go to a football game, you got your shirt on, and like I said, I'm not. It doesn't matter whose shirt it was, according to the guy who came to enact the policy. It didn't matter if it was a Harris shirt or Trump shirt. It was just anybody's shirt. So because people have gotten so wild about this, you can't even wear a shirt in the front row of a football game because they're worried that it would incite some type of weird violence. In addition, now hold on a second here. Let me get my... In addition to that, I don't think it is an NFL policy because fans at NFL games be wearing some wild stuff. They be up there with their shirts out and their nipples out and all types of stuff. Paint their faces all types of different colors. They have, for like the Washington Commanders or the Kansas City Chiefs, they'll have Indian garb on. And you know what I'm saying? Like they wear some wild stuff. I didn't know that we were taking such an approach to political stuff, and it's only because it's such a problem. I guarantee years ago nobody was tripping over somebody having a shirt on that might have said who the president was or who the president who wants to be the president or something like that. I don't think it was a big deal. Why is it a big deal now? Why is it a big deal now? So in addition to that, apparently there's also some issues when you go to have brunch with your friends in areas where people overhear your conversation and don't necessarily agree with you politically. So guess what else is going on? So I got this other clip. Check this one out. So apparently these ladies were having a conversation. This lady and some people at the table here with her, they're all having a convo. And I believe that they were saying something towards who they were politically affiliating with. And some woman from another table gets offended and literally jumps up in their face. So I'm going to let y'all check this out real quick.
Why is she allowed to be near me?
Have a seat, please.
I think
Let's go back to our conversation.
Why is
Oh, this is the second clip. This is the second clip.
I think
And let us sit down, honey.
That's where we're at right now. So bring it down. If you'd like to finish your
Whatever.
conversation, please do.
If she were black, she'd be thrown out here.
You see the white lady's face right there when she threw the black card out? Yeah. She said, don't say that. Now, granted,
I know.
Let's stop.
You're right. There it is. You're absolutely right. We got thrown out for less.
Oh my God.
But this one can be a threat, a constant threat, and she still gets to sit here. She can be a... Why?
all right, like I said, this is the second clip. The first clip has this lady here basically interrupting their conversation, and that's what starts the argument. Now, I'm all for if somebody is, let's say we're at a table at a restaurant, right? Let's say I go out with my wife and we're at a table at a restaurant and somebody's got like a whole conversation going on at the next table, not right where we are, but close, right? And they're having a conversation that I may not agree with. Where in my whole situation am I supposed to be in their conversation? Did they invite me into their conversation? No. So, should have stayed her ass at her table. But like I said, you only got to see the second clip, which was the black lady pulling the race card, which I thought was funny because, if I'm not mistaken, the lady who was upset, most upset in this clip that we just saw, was a Trump supporter. So it was just interesting that, since Trump is a racist Nazi neo-fascist, that there is a black woman who's over here, speaking in his defense and then being accosted for being on that side of it. I think that's a little ironic, honestly, But it's not just folks who are against, Donald Trump or J.D. Vance or the Republicans. It's not just them. Y'all know. MAGA been wilding out for a second, and it's not really, I'm not going to say MAGA. What happens is this, right? When you get empowered with strong rhetoric, it starts to bring out some of the demons that are inside of folks. I hate to say it that way, but it starts to bring out some of the demons inside of people. And they take it too far. So I got another one for you. Check this one out.
I'm gonna try to stay calm. This is a Donald Trump MAGA float in
See
Mount
this stuff?
Pleasant, Pennsylvania, depicting Kamala Harris in chains walking behind him. Nah, fuck that. I'm going to fuck off. Are you kidding me? I swear. Y'all will never beat the allegations of not being fucking... I swear. This is a wider view of this. A wider view of them leading her in fucking chains. This is the fucking vice president. This is a black woman. What is wrong with y'all? The level of racism
a good question.
we are seeing in the upcoming days to this fucking election is just...
She's stating how I
I'm
feel.
surprised, but I'm just pissed off. This is always MAGA supporters. You don't see Democrats, you don't see liberals, you don't see nobody else doing no crazy shit like this but y'all. And y'all wonder why we say y'all in a cult. The way
Oh, she get ready to cry?
just go out and vote, because That is so fucking.
Now, not taking away from any of that, because that was crazy. That was absolutely nuts. So that's the problem I'm talking about. There are people in this world that get incited. January 6th was a very good example of that. People not just excited, but incited. It's almost like some folks didn't have anything else going on, and they needed something to be mad about, right? And I would be foolish to say that there's no like racist people in America or people who have prejudice, because racism, if you really look into it, it's a little bit different than just using the N-word or feeling a certain type of way about brown people. You know what I'm saying? That racism in and of itself is supposed to be more systematic. Wasn't nothing systematic to the golf cart with the Kamala Harris person standing behind it. But I digress. There was nothing really strategic about that. It doesn't help Trump's campaign at all. And that's the problem. People really think that that's what either side of the government would want to promote, is anybody going out there and doing some racist, goofy shit. Because that's the goofy shit. That's definitely in the lines of the goofy shit. And I got some more goofy shit for y'all. Hold up. Check this one out. Check this out. And it's been all over my timeline because everybody's trying to make their points about who's worse. But really, it's like everybody's pretty crazy here. So nonetheless, this was a Halloween costume with, I guess this is like Trump giving the okay sign. And this is supposed to be Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton as the two people behind it. Now, the issue is with this one, the underlying piece was that, at some point, they were talking about people needing to be arrested. And that was supposed to be what this was about. The problem is you got your child in blackface. Okay, these is one family. They're all part of the same family. The dad thought this was going to be a great idea to put the kids in this situation and take them trick-or-treating. Now, I will venture to guess that the neighborhood is mostly Caucasian, if not all, because if you walked up to a black person's house with your child in blackface, I feel like there might be an issue and it wouldn't be no trick-or-treating. At least that night, it's over. Halloween ends there at that house. You know what I'm saying? And thanks for jumping into the chat there. You are correct. It's gonna be a mess. That's why I'm prepping everybody. Because we see it on both sides. We see angry Karens. We see angry Megans. We see angry poor people. Like, everybody has been stoked up, like charcoal, hot, ready to burst, right? And tomorrow, everything is about what do they say? When the shit's going to hit the fan tomorrow. It is. And I want to prepare my peoples for this, because who knows what kind of craziness parents, because this is a parent's fault. This joint I'm looking at right here, that is all about the parent. I don't think the kids really cared to do that. The two in the back definitely don't look happy. And the father thought, and like I said, this is a father thing. So, I am an advocate for fathers in the homes, but if you are a goofy ass father, then you need to go take some classes or something. This is not what you do. But like I said, I guarantee that this was not in a, inner city, predominantly black neighborhood where he's walking these kids around like this, because somebody would have definitely had a real problem with it. But he got the attention he was seeking with that. He definitely got the attention he was seeking with that. And a lot of people are just seeking attention. They want to go viral right now. They want to do something that just takes people into a whole nother realm mentally. And they've been doing it through the media. They've been doing it through our social media, more importantly, because that's what everybody's really tuned into. Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube. Everybody's getting information from there. So we have seen some of the most raucous, embarrassing shit out of Americans. All of y'all. I don't care if you Democrat or if you Republican or independent. If you are on that goofy shit, you are in your own box. And that's where you are. And honestly, I hope if y'all get to some goofy shit, whoever it is on that day, that you learn real quick why they rolled out that new directive for the feds. We're not playing this time. I don't care who it is. We're not playing this time. All that goofy shit is not happening. And if you do it, you're going to learn. You're going to learn. And I don't care who it is. Black, white, fat, short, whatever. I don't care. The goofiness has got to stop. These political people don't give a damn about us on an individual level. We are citizens within a nation. Now, if you think that if you were going through something, not to say that nobody's ever done that, but if you were going through something, that any of these folks at that top level would be advocating for you to the level of flying your flag and creating merchandise with your face and name and MAGA garbage, and you know what I'm saying? And it's just like y'all taking it too far. So I wanted to stop today. This is a stark warning. They not playing, okay? The federal government, namely National Guard and the local authorities, are not playing this time around. We done had way too much go on. We had assassination attempts. We done had, like, at this point, I'm expecting something. I'm expecting something. But I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to be pretty. Whoever decides to get out of line, you will be brought back in line very quickly. Very quickly, okay? So in addition to this, like I said, it's been very raucous lately. We had a gentleman recently go to a polling spot in South Carolina, I think it was. I want to say Spartanburg, South Carolina. And he was, I don't want to say he was stopped from voting because he had on a Let's Go Brandon hat. Now, if you don't know what Let's Go Brandon means, apparently there was a chant at one of Joe Biden's rallies, and people were saying, F Joe Biden. And somehow that got translated to Let's Go Brandon. And so people now interchange Let's Go Brandon to mean F Joe Biden. So it might be a bit to catch, but that was the whole point. So he puts on the hat that says Let's Go Brandon, which translates to F Joe Biden. But this is a local election, I believe, where the presidential ticket was not part of this or something. It was something different. So it was like, because he was at that level of election, he didn't think that there would be a problem with him wearing a hat for the presidential election. Now, of course, it didn't say Let's Go Trump. It said Let's Go Brandon, which is like a double entendre to say F Joe Biden. So you're not saying that you want to F Joe Biden directly, but you are giving off the impression that that's how you feel, right? So these ladies attempted to stop the gentleman because of his hat. And this is the thing I was talking about with these clothes. I do understand that you're not supposed to have certain clothing on when you're voting, but I think Let's Go Brandon, if a person didn't really know what the inside joke was, they wouldn't really know much about it. It just says Let's Go Brandon, and it has an American flag on there. So in a general sense, they probably didn't even know what the hell it meant. They just knew that it had something on it that looked political, and they were like, we can't have that, and then this is what happened. And shouts to the New York Post for doing this story for me.
Wow.
This is my mother right here.
Wow.
Let me speed it up a little bit.
It's like all right, then shut the hell up. Let me vote.
Uh-oh. You hit him with the, who is you talking to?
Wow.
There it is right there.
So he throws the hat.
Wow. Wow.
Wild lady needs to shut up.
Oh. Wow.
All right, now I'm going to pause for 1 second here because I didn't have the correct angle to see what created a situation where that lady swung at him. But from this angle, it looks like she swung at him first. Now, I don't know if she was pushing him on the shoulder and he did one of those, you swing your, you know what I'm saying, when you swing your arm or whatever, and then the person feels like you just struck them. And not you hit them in the face, but you're like moving their arm out. I've had this situation happen where somebody would like grab me and I'd do one of these, and then they're like, oh, and now they think it's a situation. No, I want you to get the hell off of me because I'm a grown ass man. That I do understand. Now, in this same clip here, we also notice, I'm gonna minimize it a little bit so we can get a little better view. You also notice that there's a number of people here who are all black women. No disrespect to black women, love them. I think there should have been additional security in the situation because they've been having so many problems this year. Like, why wouldn't we have security? I don't know. I don't know why we wouldn't make sure that all of these people are protected. There's a little old white lady over here. She looks like she might be a little frail. What if this melee comes in her direction? You see what I'm saying? She could get hurt. He could get hurt. She need to get her damn hand out his face. I don't know why people do that stuff. That is antagonizing. Don't nobody want your finger all up in their damn face. That's some 9th grade, 8th grade shit. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. That's that goofy shit. So she's goofy for that. He's goofy for wearing the hat because he knew he wasn't supposed to wear the damn hat. Where the problem came in was they told him that he could not vote at all because of this. And that's not the law. The law is the person will receive a fine, but they can still vote. So for anybody that doesn't understand that, if you do wear some electioneering garb, you are still legally supposed to vote. You are not supposed to be denied your vote. Now, the police can write you a ticket. If you get crazy, they can arrest you for disorderly. But in a general sense, if they come up to you and say, hey, you can't have that on, and you say, I'm not taking it off, they will say, okay, we're going to write you a ticket, and you will take that ticket. I think it's like $500, and you would still be able to vote. So the problem that happened here with this situation is this gentleman was being denied the ability to vote. So that's why he throws the hat off to say, all right, fine, here's the stupid hat. Take the hat, and let me do what I came here to do, which is to vote. So in that regard, they are wrong for preventing him from voting. Well, at least in this clip. I don't know if after this was over with, he got to vote. I do know some people got arrested afterward. I believe the poll worker that smacked him got arrested, and I believe the guy got arrested too. Not 100% sure about the guy, but I do know that the lady that threw that little swing apparently got arrested. So.
Wow. 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 Wow.
She got the scissors. She ready. She about to take out a jugular out this joint. You see her tapping the scissors like, I wish I would.
Wow. I'm not going to work with him. I may want to work with him.
And his last name is Stillinger. White male, blue shirt, blue jeans, curses, assaulted an employee of the state. He is Mr. Stillinger.
So right there, he just said, they still have to let us vote. So that right there is where the problem comes in. Now, dude, you knew you were going to incite some issues up in here. You obviously went to a particular precinct, not to throw race into it, but everybody who was working there was black. And it seemed like he wanted to be standoffish by wearing the garb in the first place. But like I said, if you don't really know what Let's Go Brandon means, then you might just be like, who the hell is Brandon? And just, it's not a big deal. And the reason why it was a big deal is just because it was political. It wasn't because of who it was representing. Similar to the situation with the person in the football game, where they were just like, no political stuff. So they made their point, but he was still supposed to be able to vote. And I don't know if he did get a chance to do that.
Last name Stillinger.
Wow.
No, we're not going to just hold the thing. It's still here. It's still handcuffed.
Wow.
That's all we told you.
Wow.
So where's limestone?
All right, well, nonetheless, y'all get the point. So that guy, like I said, I don't want to say he was wrong or right. Oh, what was that? Anyway, I don't want to say whether he was wrong or right himself. He did wear the hat to be kind of a jerk, but that doesn't mean he doesn't get to vote. So I'm going to need everybody to calm it down. Let's just get through this voting process. If somebody has, I mean, I get it, but that seems stupid. That's like a way to start a fight. Who cares who has a shirt on? What matters is the damn vote. That's what matters. Do I get to vote because you have a shirt on? Yes. So you got a shirt on, you get to vote. I don't have a shirt on or don't have a political shirt on, I get to vote. The vote is the same. So what's the big damn deal? When you walk up to the polling spot, there is signs lined up 6 inches from each other with every candidate you can imagine and ones you ain't never even heard of all the way up to the door, right? But this man can't have on a Let's Go Brandon hat. I'm just saying, not saying he was right. I'm just saying that we need to calm it down a little bit. He did that to incite. And the only reason why he knew it would incite is because people are getting incited by shit like that. Goofy shit. Stop it. Now, I know it may be a lot for y'all to take in. I know it sometimes it can almost seem like hopeless. I hate to use the term, but that's what it seems like. Because I can't get through to these people. Because I don't know them, right? So I go to the internet, I'm here, online, on YouTube, hoping that somebody hears this and stops the goofiness. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be the goofy. You may be witness to the goofiness. And as a witness to the goofiness and also a person who has watched Purge of the BS, you understand you have a responsibility to put an end to that. You have a responsibility when you see something goofy to ungoofify it and immediately take action. A lot of people don't like that, but that's the real responsibility because we see goofy stuff all the time. We see goofy stuff all the time. That's why I'm gonna take you to my next clip here. Some more goofiness. So this guy, well, not the guy in the screen right now, but there's a pastor in where's he at? Alabama, who decided to put some wild signs on the church joint to try to influence people to vote a certain way. Now, me personally, I think the church needs to stay the hell out of political debates and political decisions. I really do. Because to a certain degree, I feel like they should be conflicted with some of the policies that they're supporting, the Christian church. And so I think the best way to do that is just don't take a side. Let your parishioners and your congregation vote for whoever they're going to vote for. You say what you're going to say on the pulpit about the Bible, and you keep it to that. Political affiliation is not a church affiliation. My church does not have a political party. Like, that's dumb to me. What about the separation of church and state and all that kind of stuff? And freedom of religion. So, nonetheless, if you can't see in this top corner here, this pastor has put up a sign on the church that lights up at night, by the way. Attention to all blacks who plan to vote for Trump. You are an ignorant, stupid Negro. Now, this is on a sign on the street. So I'm going to let John Patke from the TV 13 in Birmingham, I'm going to let him tell the story for me. John?
Hi, the pastor here, Michael Jordan, actually tells us
Michael
that
Jordan.
he has a duty to his flock to warn them about perceived social and political dangers, so he does not hesitate to put up messages like this that may rub some the wrong way.
You don't feel this message is in any way racist at all?
Controversial church marquee messages are nothing new to Pastor Michael Jordan. Back in 2019, his New Era Baptist Church sign read, "A white vote for Trump is pure."
See, that's what I'm saying, man. A white vote for Trump is pure racism. I would not say that. Now, to say that some racist people would vote for Trump, yes, some racist people will vote for Trump. But surprise, surprise, some racist people are going to vote on the other side too. Because there's racist people. Anyway, y'all make me sick with this shit.
Pure racism.
I want to get a message to African Americans and poor whites that we have a very serious election coming up.
That's why he decided to post these eye-catching mottos outside his house of worship before next Tuesday. This side suggests a black vote for Donald Trump.
You see this? Warning African Americans a vote for Trump will put black folks back to picking cotton. Who goes to this church? This is not the new era of the Baptist church. Now, I do like his scripture that he has right here. My people perish for lack of knowledge. That's actually very ironic that he would use that. Because I think that this is a lack of knowledge on how to get people to understand certain things. What if you don't feel like that, but you go to this church? What if you don't feel like that? Are you ostracized from the church? I don't know. What if you have a strong opinion about abortion and the Harris campaign doesn't line up with you as a Christian and that's how you feel? Does that mean that you're going to go back to picking cotton? The worst part is some people actually think it does. And that is the goofy shit I'm talking about. Let me finish this story out.
Trump could lead to a form of slavery.
If Donald Trump can control what we study and read or control our wages, we'll be substandard to him.
Word of Jordan's political messaging reached Montgomery. On social media, Republican Lieutenant Governor Will Ainsworth said Jordan should be trying to spread the gospel, not threaten, intimidate, and insult those who exercise their right to vote and support the candidate that is best for them. Those responsible for this sign should be ashamed.
They should
be. But he's thinking from a Republican point of view. Donald Trump make sad, pitiful, negative statements about people every day.
But Jordan's political points don't stop with cotton-picking threats. He hurls serious insults at any African Americans aligning themselves with the former president.
See, this is
Are you worried at all
shit.
that when you use words like ignorant, stupid, Negro, as it says on your sign, you may offend people that may want to come to your church?
No, they know point blank, it's an ear catcher.
Really?
Well, no matter what kind of pushback that Pastor Jordan may receive from state leaders, he says he plans to lead this message up through the inauguration in January. Live in Birmingham, John Papke, WVTM 13.
All right,
well, guys, the pastor here, Michael Jordan, actually tells us
is really, I appreciate John for that story. And I'm going to tell you right now, I done had it with some of these black pastors. Y'all need to go be in the pulpit, preach the gospel, and keep it there. We have a need for direction. Like as a people, and I'm not just talking about black people, I'm talking about people. That's why all this is going on, because we don't have the right direction. And we think that we can just express these goofy ass opinions, because that's all it is. It's an opinion, and you're entitled to your opinion, but are you entitled to throw it on your church's billboard? I would think not. And most of these churches, especially Baptist churches in Birmingham, they're part of an organization. So that means that there's an organization that they should be answering to for stuff like this, and that organization must not have had an issue with it. It's church. Can I be in church without somebody telling me that I'm going to be put back in slavery? Because I don't believe that for a second. I don't care what y'all say. We already in slavery. We got to get up every day to go to somebody's job to make sure that we take care of all of the stuff that we have to take care of. And we are not the owners of that job. We are just indentured servants. So we all that. The same way I told y'all about the traffic. When you're sitting in traffic in rush hour and look at the cars around you, you will see all types of cars. At least where I'm at, you see expensive stuff. You see a Rolls, you'll see a Bentley, you'll see a nice McLaren or something, or even a Lambo or something, just in the traffic with you. $275,000+ cars stuck in the same traffic with me. You understand what I'm saying now, right? You in the same game. So if I'm going back to slavery, a lot of people got to go back to slavery. And that's not happening because niggas ain't having it. Care what nobody say. Try that shit. Like, really? Come on, man. Hell you thought this was? They really think that anybody, Trump included, anybody, could just put black people back in slavery. Are you, man, y'all stupid for even thinking that goofy shit. That's not how it's going to work. We all going to suffer. Everybody that make 50 grand, make 50 grand. White, black, Chinese, it don't matter. You see what I'm saying? So if there's a tax on people that make 50 grand, it doesn't matter what color you are. Part of that are y'all not getting. So that can work in the negative and the positive. But it can't work for just one people. That's why you can't have a policy for just a particular group of people other than just saying if somebody says something bad about them, it's a hate crime. Because if you make financial changes, then somebody else is going to feel affected like, oh, well, they took my tax money to give reparations to black people, so we should get reparations for reparations. It's a long, slippery-ass slope. Pause. And I don't want to be part of it, but I got to make sure that if I'm going to state anything, I'm going to tell y'all this shit is it's goofy. I don't want my pastor putting that on the church. Even if he feels like that, I don't believe it's his place to do so. I believe it should be an entire church decision. And just like the interviewer guy said, what if people don't want to come to your church because of that? And he basically said, I don't care. So that means that them people in that church are just his followers. They just do whatever the hell he tell them to do. He's got a whole parishioner of people that just follow him and maybe not following God. But I digress. It's giving me a headache early, guys. It's giving me a headache early. And make sure you tap in that reaction joint. Hit them hearts, hit them 100s. Make sure I know that y'all are here in that chat. Because I want to talk to my folks. Tomorrow is a very important day, however you vote. Some goofiness is going to happen immediately. So prepare yourself for it. And understand that there's people like this pastor, his congregation, that feel a certain way. There's people like the crazy Karen lady that was in the cafe that feel a certain type of way. The NFL feels a certain type of way. Mainstream media feels a certain type of way. You can see how skewed it is. There used to be a time where you could just go from media source to media source and it was just information. It wasn't skewed left or right. It was like you could just watch and come up with your own decisions. And the mainstream media is now designed to push you in particular directions. So you got to do your best, even if it may not fit your particular narrative. You got to do your best to look at multiple news sources. Don't just look at MSNBC or CBS or ABC. Look at all of them. Look at Fox News. Look at BBC, which I hate saying, but yeah, check them out. Sky News, The Hill, Guardian, Forbes. Like, you see what I'm saying? Check them all out. And then once you put all that information into one basket, you'll be able to pull out certain things right out the middle, and that's the truth. The problem is you got to spend too much damn time researching the bullshit to find the truth. And that's all mainstream media's fault. That's why these people acting like this. If we didn't have all this stuff going out on the airwaves, have everybody thinking that they can put Kamala Harris in chains behind a Halloween float, and that's like a cool thing to do, that's stupid. And people were cheering for that. Let me keep going. So in an effort to like, I don't want to say make a point about illegal immigrants, but they basically, they got some guys that are going around and they're trying to get Harris supporters to agree to take in a migrant family. And it's a total prank. And, you know, they go into it with this whole idea that they're exposing something, basically saying that the people who are voting for the open borders don't want migrants in their home. But here's the thing. If you show up to me randomly and tell me anybody's coming over, you can tell me family is coming over randomly, and I'm going to have an issue. You understand what I'm saying? So if anybody shows up and is like, hey, your cousin's here, I'm going to be like, what the hell is my cousin doing here without calling? You see what I'm saying? So I'll let these guys get their little prank off because it's trending right now. People think it's funny. I don't think it's funny. I think it's kind of a waste of time. But what they do is they basically they dress up like they're Harris supporters and then go and do the gag. So let's give them a look.
I dressed up like I work for Kamala's campaign, and now I'm gonna deliver immigrants to her supporters.
We are voting for you, don't worry.
Are you? Of course. We do have a surprise, if that's okay, just real fast.
You have a surprise?
We're looking for a place for them to stay. They just came across. They'll sleep on floors. I mean, they're not picky, you know.
We have like a 2-year-old, so
Hector's good with kids.
could they just like sleep on your lawn?
They need a place to stay. They just came across.
My teenagers live with me.
Oh, that's fine. Hector, he was dating a teenager like a little bit ago, so.
Okay.
Wow.
Across. They don't have papers. You're in support of like the whole border situation, and we're just trying to get them a floor to sleep on. Do you guys want COVID? They said they could survive it.
You don't know how to say her name.
We work with her, so we know how to say her name.
Earlier you said Kamala. The way she pronounces her name is Kamala. You don't work with her either.
See that car? We have 3 dudes who just came across the border. We're trying to find them a home.
Find them a home.
Just say I'm voting for Donald Trump without saying it, okay?
That's a wrong attitude, mister.
I said my vote is private.
So you're voting Kamala?
No. You said it again.
So, like I said, for the comedy of it, I'll give it its place. It's definitely got some comedy going. But I really think that maybe might be taking it a little too far. Maybe. What do you guys think? You think that's too much to go around bothering people with the possibility of taking in a migrant family in order to prove their support for Kamala Harris and her border policies? Or whoever's border policies, honestly. All of it's gotten mixed up in the last 8 years. I don't know who shit we following right now. I'm gonna be real. Because the way that stuff works, it takes time to pass, and then they'll put it in place for a certain amount of years, right? So even if a person stops being in office, some of their policies will trail into the next administration automatically. So I don't know whose stuff is what, but I do know mass deportation is going to be a mess. Prepare for that. If Trump wins, woo, mass deportation, boy, that's going to take a minute to figure that one out. It's not going to be pretty. So everybody who voted for that, just keep that in mind. And if you're okay with it and understanding it's going to be a mess, that's fine too. But just don't act surprised when it's a mess. That's all I'm saying. Don't act surprised. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. So there's been a recent uptick in theft because people have now this was funny though. Basically there's a law now in Cali where if you steal like under $900 worth of stuff, that it's not even a crime. So people are taking advantage of that by stealing stuff. So somebody sent this clip over to me. They're saying that this is what Kamala Harris just refused to say how she voted on a bill to crack down on this type of theft. So this is a 7-Eleven mob raiding the snacks.
Get that.
And they're doing donuts in the street in the background if you don't hear that. Very diverse crowd. Very diverse. Let's stop. We got this guy. I don't know what he is, but he likes Doritos. And why did he grab a safety vest? Did you see that? He had a safety vest. Like, what you bought that? You grabbed that out the 7-Eleven, huh? All right, so let's go through. Let's see how the high class does it.
Rico.
All right, Rico. I'm pretty sure that is, you already know. I ain't gonna say it. But like I said, if you look at these faces, they ain't all one color. You look at them hairstyles, they ain't all one type of hair. They ain't all, you know what I'm saying? So that's a coordinated effort of goofy shit. That is a coordinated effort of goofy shit. And there's really no way around that. I'm sorry for anybody that was involved in it that thinks it was not goofy, but it was. So, this is what it is. It really is what it is. It's a shame, man. I already told you how I feel. I blame the parents. If this many young folks, now some of them were not babies, but there was definitely some teenagers in that crew. Now some of them was probably in their 20s or whatever, you know. But whose kids are those? Like, when the kid comes in with all them snacks and you're like, where'd you get them snacks from? And they're like, I don't know. We don't ask any questions anymore. I don't think we got the kids' best interests at heart no more. I don't. I think we want them to be happy at the expense of their future. And that's really what this election is about. Everybody wants to be happy at the expense of their future. Not understanding that behind all of this, there's a bunch of money funneling in, millions and billions of dollars funneling in from different sources and all that. So how the hell we don't have no money for nothing else? We got millions and billions for political campaigns on both sides. Millions. Elon's giving away $1 million a day. You know who could use that $1 million a day? The people in Asheville, North Carolina. Want to show me something, Mr. Musk? Do that. I feel you. You dropped off a couple of Wi-Fi boxes down there, but they didn't have power. I don't know. I get riled up. And it's only because I see this stuff, and it's almost like I feel like I'm in the Matrix, man. Like, is anybody else seeing it? Jeez. So, guys, I'm going to take y'all out with one last clip because I got to get out of here. I got shit to do. Now, this one's funny to me. There was a business in, I don't know, one of these cities, and they had hung this beautiful sign at the top of their business. Check this out.
What the fuck?
Y'all see that? So the business that's down here is saying they didn't hang that sign.
Yes. Oh, that's fucking great. Only in Tennessee, baby.
Tennessee?
That's right. Because they knew. Hey, baby.
Enough already. It probably cost just as much to make that sign, to say that the business didn't hang the sign, as it cost to make the sign that was hung. And who knows who hung the sign? And if you own the business, you may not own the building, so the building owner might have wanted to put the sign up, probably got paid to do so because of visibility and location. And the business owner that's leasing the property from the basement floor had no say-so. So once again, we have somebody with a higher position of power, like that pastor, having no say-so at all on what's being propagated from the top of their building. Republicans for Harris Walls. Well, you know what? I think we should stop with the whole Republican-Democrat thing, because if you go back, a lot of the values have like kind of swapped places and mixed in the middle, and it's kind of a concentric circle of political stuff. So I don't care if you a Republican. If you voting for Harris, you vote for Harris. If you vote for Trump, you vote for Trump. You ain't got to be none of those political parties. They ain't never invited me to the damn convention, so I ain't really part of the party. You see what I'm saying? I would never affiliate myself directly with either party. No way. No way. Not all the things I've seen and all the craziness I've heard on either side. I don't like y'all. I don't like none of y'all. Y'all goofy. You're doing goofy shit. Some of it's funny. Some of the gaffes and stuff are funny. The media twists are kind of interesting, how they spin stuff. It's humorous in like a saddening way. But all in all, none of y'all should be part of none of these damn parties. They don't care about y'all. Every 4 years they come around, they spit some cool shit, and then don't do none of it. And there we are 4 years later, upset that the last one didn't do it. I've been voting for, I don't know how many years. I don't vote in every election. That's just me. If I don't feel like there's something that I'm really standing on a particular side, then I'll let the rest of the people decide, you know? But for the most part, I've never really trusted any of them. So why would I put my life on the line or my freedom on the line trying to purport their damn merchandise at an election place, football game, at a church, top of a business? Now, like I said, that business definitely got paid to put that billboard up, or the person that owned that building, they definitely got paid to put that up, because the business on the bottom wouldn't have put that other sign up. If they did have some say-so over it, it would have never been up. So that's also happening. We've got a lot of paid plants. And you know what a plant is. It's placed in a place and it's supposed to grow. And some of those plants turn into weeds and vines and take over the rest of us. And we need to be smart. Stop being on the goofiness. Stop being overly violent. Just stop all of that. Stop all of the goofiness that we have seen for the last few months. We're all going to be American on the 6th, guys. We're still going to be Americans on the 6th. We're not going to be, I'm not putting up with no racist BS driving down my street because Trump won the election. We're not doing that. I'm going to need y'all to chill, because if you come down the wrong street, you will find out why you should not have been right. You understand what I'm saying? So for everybody that tuned in, thank y'all for tuning in. We are coming back tomorrow with a special election day episode, because I want to put this election to bed, and it's not going to bed. Somebody's going to contest it. It's going to take weeks. It's going to be in the news cycle for a minute. And I got some other videos I want to release, and I know that right now this is the trending topic. So we're going to stay on it for a second, like tomorrow. But then after that, man, I'm moving on with my fucking life, because whatever happens, I'm going to have to deal with it. You see what I'm saying? Once some votes are cast, whatever policies come rolling out, I do not get to go to Congress and say, y'all don't like that. It's over with. It's over with. Y'all need to stop tripping, because if you don't stop tripping, you're going to get tripped up by the right ones. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And that, my friends, is the bullshit.